So, in some breaking news, the new tower that Tower Defense Simulator has been teasing to us for the past couple of weeks has now been officially, well, teased, I guess. It's the Tesla Tower. Now, there is also the case of the Takeover event, which has also been leaked, and this is coming out the day after I release this video. However, that will be a separate video for tomorrow when the Takeover event actually occurs, and I speculate on what may happen in that event. However, the main focus of this video is about the Tesla Tower. Now, this is the first and probably going to be the only leak until the trailer is probably released until 6 hours before the Tesla Tower is properly released. In any case, we have the Tesla Tower itself being featured on a thumbnail probably made by Jazir, and it's, as the name suggests, it's a Tesla Tower with the Tower Defense Simulator logo slapped upon it. It is a render, and it's a Tesla coil thing, and electricity sparks out from it. Now, this is named as Shock, Stun, and Shred, going from September 17th to October 1st, so that's going to incorporate 2 weeks. And that's likely going to be the main updates cycle for the next week, and then after that for the next 2 weeks. It's bi-weekly updates, we're still on that. Interestingly enough, October 1st, that's probably going to be an update on that date. It's not likely to be the Halloween event. I think it's going to be October the 15th. That's likely going to be the Halloween event's release, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. It could also be the case where the Halloween event is also released on October 29th, since that is also a Wednesday. I think it is likely it's going to be a Wednesday release, maybe even a night 2 release, maybe on a Friday, because Fridays typically have more increased player base, and having an increased player base on a weekend maybe could possibly get the CCU for Tower Defense Simulator marginally up. Anyways, in the description, feel the surge, Tesla is almost here. Lightning strikes, quick stuns, and a switch that turns a lane into a light show. Hold the line and watch waves crumble. Now, if you think we already have a electricity-based tower in Tower Defense Simulator already, you are right. We already have the Electroshocker Tower in Tower Defense Simulator. In fact, in the past, the Electroshocker Tower did used to have a Tesla Tower. So, prior to the hardcore mode rework, or the overhaul update rework on the 29th of October 2020, the Electroshocker used to have a Tesla Tower from level 2 onwards. Previous to that, it did have a stun gun or a taser, and the Electroshocker still does use a taser to this day. In fact, it looks like it was the same taser that's used by the Electroshocker nowadays. I think the Electroshocker is slightly outdated in my opinion. Looking at this design, it has not really changed since 2020, so perhaps with the Tesla Tower there's going to be a change for the Electroshocker Tower. I don't know. I'm not really hoping out that. Certainly, I don't think it's going to be like a major overhaul to the Electroshocker Tower, because I think the Electroshocker Tower, most people would probably agree that it is a pretty decent support tower when it comes to slowing down enemies. It's not perhaps overpowered to the point where everyone's using it in their defenses nowadays, but I think it is a good support tower that is pretty good to use, especially for fast enemies such as the Fallen Tank in Fallen mode. But the Tesla Tower that's seen in 2020 alongside the Electroshocker is probably not going to be the version of the Tesla Tower we see. It might be similar. It might be the developers trying to play on this nostalgia, and there may be an upgrade towards the end which has like a purple neon light parts similar to the Electroshocker's version back in 2020. However, with that being said, obviously nowadays the Electroshocker does not have this Tesla Tower. Most of the time it does have a stun gun, or what could be interpreted as a stun gun, as you can see with these skins. Now, with the defenses of the Electroshocker, it's probably not going to overlap with the Tesla Tower because they need to be distinct. I mean, there is some overlap with some towers in Tower Defense Simulator. You have the Freezer, for example, but it overlaps with event towers, which that's absolutely fine. I think overlap with event towers is fine, but overlap with other towers in the main game, the Evergreen Towers, I don't think is on. The only trouble is that when it comes to the Electroshocker, its main thing is that between levels 1 to level 3, it has a fast firing attack which slows down enemies, and it doesn't hit that many enemies. I think it can hit up to 3 enemies, but it slows them down quite significantly. Oh wait, no, it's slightly more than that. So at level 3, which is the fastest firing Electroshocker, it can hit up to 4 enemies, and like it deals a small amount of damage. 8 damage, 0.75 fire rate. It's not that big of a deal. But later on, if you upgrade it to level 4 and level 5, it does deal significantly more damage. 50 damage, 2.5 fire rate, however. So if effectively you're trading in the fast firing electroshocker for a slow firing electroshocker which slows down enemies more significantly and deals more damage. Now, with the Tesla Tower to come into the game, I could realistically see a slight modus operandi for the electroshocker, a slight change to it, purely because, well, you are effectively using 2 different towers with the current electroshocker. I feel like I am anyways, because going from level 0 to level 3, that's mostly about slowing down enemies, whereas after level 3, level 4 and level 5, it's mostly about damaging enemies, or, well, damaging a significant amount of enemies while also slowing them down at the same time. So previously, from level 0 to level 3, you're slowing down enemies with the added perk of dealing a slight bit of damage, whereas afterwards, in my opinion, for level 4 and level 5, you're damaging enemies with the slight perk of slowing them down as well. Now, with the leaks for the Tesla Tower, Shock, Stun and Shred, I think its capabilities are going to be similar to that of the electroshocker. However, I think it's going to have a different modus operandi. I think with the Tesla Tower's description, lightning strikes, quick stuns, and a switch that turns a lane into a light show. So from this, it looks like the Tesla Tower is going down more of the route of stunning enemies for a longer period of time, maybe in comparison to the electroshocker. However, it does seem like it has an ability that turns a lane into a light show, again slowing down even more enemies. So I think the electroshocker is probably going to go down the route of stunning enemies for a longer period of time, but dealing less damage than the electroshocker. Now, this does mean, in my opinion, that the electroshocker should be getting more damage with its lower levels, while also maybe perhaps reducing the amount of stun that it deals, so that it's more linear rather than completely flipping the tables at level 4. Additionally, the electroshocker is an advanced tower. I think the electroshocker should probably be a intermediate tower. I mean, we have the freezer here, and the electroshocker, it really isn't that complicated to use. I mean, yes, it does switch in terms of its capabilities and its usage from levels 3 to level 4, but I don't think that's much of a big deal. I mean, the Rocketeer does that at level 3 and level 4. It goes from, say it switches. The Trapper also has a switching ability which changes its purpose, going from like spikes to mines to bear traps. So the electroshocker, in my opinion, could probably go into intermediate, while the Tesla Tower sounds like, because of its stunning capabilities, could possibly be an advanced tower. Then again, though, I'm not really seeing why the Tesla Tower should be an advanced tower based on the limited amount of evidence we have right now. Maybe the electroshocker is going to remain advanced, the Tesla Tower goes into intermediate. I mean, after all, we have seen recent upsurge in the amount of intermediate towers we have with the Assassin Tower. And I mean, like, in the past, there's also been the Trapper Tower. But yes, I mean, commonly, we have had more advanced and hardcore-based towers. The Brawler, the Necromancer, technically, the Hacker Tower, the Gatling Gun, and the Mercenary Base. They've all been advanced or hardcore-based towers. So yeah, I think the Tesla Tower is probably going to go into intermediate. Thinking about it, if I really thought long and hard about it, yeah, it fits into intermediate as of what we know. I don't think it will be on the same level as the electroshocker in that case, in terms of actually being able to be used in terms of damage. I think its capabilities of stunning towers probably means that it will probably land itself into intermediate. I mean, we are forgetting the fact that the Warden Tower exists and also technically uses the same stunning that the electroshocker has, and presumably what the Tesla Tower also will get. And also, moving around towers from starters to intermediate isn't rare, or even intermediate to advanced. I mean, I don't think a tower has been moved from intermediate to advanced at all yet, but towers have gone from starter to intermediate and intermediate to starter. So when it comes to the Militant, for example, it used to be an intermediate based tower, but now it's gone down to starter, whereas the Freezer used to be a starter tower where it's been moved up into intermediate. The Tesla Tower, on the other hand, I don't again, it's either intermediate or advanced. I don't see it being a starter tower at the very least. Also, yes, I do believe that this is an evergreen tower. I don't think this is related to Halloween whatsoever. I mean, yeah, Tesla could possibly be linked to like Frankenstein, for example, because of electricity, but I doubt it. And also, yes, Tesla Tower does not reference Elon. I know that Below Natural, for some reason, has not really an obsession with Elon Musk's products, or Tesla even, but he has referenced Tesla quite a fair bit, including the Tesla Cybertruck in Tower Defense Simulator. Now, credit to Below Natural, this Tesla Cybertruck unit thing that was planned before Elon Musk was considered to go psycho. But yeah, the Tesla Cybertruck is in Tower Defense Simulator as part of the cyber military base. So yeah, I guess you can see it as Tesla being involved in Tower Defense Simulator again. I mean, there's also a crypto skin, I believe, for the farm skin, which kind of does interpret Elon Musk. Perhaps I should make a video, right, on all of the Elon Musk's references in Tower Defense Simulator. But Tesla as a concept has been around since Nikola Tesla, so I don't think it's controversial to say the word Tesla in a tower, at least in my opinion. As for its usages, it does lean to the fact that perhaps it's going to be a support tower, but also because it looks like it's going to be an evergreen tower, it looks like it can also be used in PvP mode. Yeah, the same PvP mode, which currently has about 400 players playing it, because let's be real, PvP mode, probably not perhaps the best of polished of products right now. However, with that being said, it's probably likely that the Tesla tower will have different statistics to those towers in PvP mode, which I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to make a video on all of the towers in PvP mode because, well, that's kind of boring and not many people play PvP mode nowadays anyways. It's like, I think at least 4 times the amount of people play survival mode than they do PvP mode. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be that relevant. I do find it weird that in the update log for v1.74.0, the developers, they didn't mention this new tower at all. They mentioned new shop and inventory UI and toggleable game modifiers, which sounds very similar to sandbox mode. But in the previous one, in Revive and Reload v1.73.0, they do mention a new tower in that one. And in Silent but Deadly, I don't think they mentioned a new tower unless they did. No, they did not mention the new tower because the Assassin Tower was added. But yes, it's interesting that they have added 2 new towers in the space of about 2 months. So when we've gone years without a new tower, a new evergreen tower, and like a period when the Engineer Tower was like the newest tower in Tower Defense Simulator, yeah, I think it's actually kind of valid that maybe Tower Defense Simulator is putting more effort into some towers, which, you know, it is the main premise of Tower Defense Simulator. It is like a third of the name. Collectible Tesla Tower plushie when, I mean, to be fair, plushies are like kind of degraded right now. There's not been that much movement in terms of plushies in Tower Defense Simulator, but we'll see.